There are a lot of different scales that you can learn when learning bass guitar. There were two in particular that I learned when I first started that covered just about everything I needed to get going on bass. We already covered one in a previous video, so today we're back to cover the minor pentatonic scale. Let's go. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you guys so much. This last week was nuts. I crossed over 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Everything happened really, really quickly. I really appreciate all the comments, both good and bad. I appreciate everybody jumping in with new ideas. I'm going to try my best to hit a lot of those video ideas in the near future. Some really great stuff there. And thank you so much. If you like bass videos like this and you enjoy these discussions, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know who you are in the comments, say hello. I try to get back to everybody that I can, and I really appreciate all the support. It's been a great week. Let's keep it going. Today we're going to cover the minor pentatonic scale. Now, simply put, where does this scale vary or differ from the major pentatonic scale? Well, it's just going to be a matter of scale degrees. And we're going to go off of basically the three scales that we've focused on so far, which are the major scale, the minor scale, and the major pentatonic scale. So we'll kind of use those as references. If you guys haven't checked out those videos or haven't learned about those scales yet, please do. I'll link them in this video. Check them out. For the sake of this video, I will just speak to you as though you've already seen those or at least understand the basic principles of those scales. And then I'll just walk you through the minor pentatonic scale degrees and kind of show what's the difference between that and the major pentatonic scale. It's very simple stuff. A few minor changes make all the difference here. Let's start off by going over the notes and the scale degrees in the minor pentatonic scale, and then, of course, we can play it in context a little bit more. We start here with the first scale degree, A. Then we move to the flat third or minor third of the key, which is the note C. Next we have D, and on to the fifth, E. Then finally, we have the flat seventh or minor seventh of the key, the note G. So once again, now that we have all those notes in there and we understand the scale, what do you notice about this scale? It's extremely popular. Once again, just like the major pentatonic scale, same idea here. It's found across all different forms of popular music, both extremely old and extremely new. It's very common. And let's hear a couple examples of that. So this is why I feel like the pentatonic scales are so important. I think that they sort of cut a lot of the fat and break things down to the most important and most informative notes within a scale. The minor pentatonic scale is no different than the major in that way. It's very simple. It is only 5 tones or 5 notes that we're working with here. Of course, you can include the octave as well. Kind of talking about it from feel versus the technical element of it. The minor scale has a bit more of that edge, a bit more darkness that it's leading onto. And, you know, there's a lot of rock music and hip hop and some funk that leans into that minor element of things. And we know so far that it comes from these minor thirds and the minor seventh and things of that nature that color the harmony that way, technically speaking. But thinking about it from a feel perspective, there's so much good, badass, swag kind of feels that you get from a minor pentatonic scale like this, and it's personally why it's one of my favorites. There's so many old blues songs and classic riffs and classic rock riffs that I grew up playing and learning where you're going to find the minor pentatonic scale. You'll find the major as well, but I find that major pentatonic scale crosses over a little bit more in pop and funk, but in the rock domain, the minor pentatonic scale absolutely takes the cake. Let's now, as we do, focus on freestyling a little bit and play to some drums. Let's just be sort of free and open to start. And then let's try to land on something that's a bit repeatable and that we can play over the drum break as a bit of an exercise. I use this technique whenever I learn something new. I want my mind to wander and I want to experiment and feel around a little bit to start. And then from there, I want to lock it in, tighten things up, and find a place to just practice my muscle memory, find something memorable and repeatable. As I talk about in most of my videos, writing as a bass player for both your own songs and other people's songs, being able to write bass lines is hugely important. I would say the main takeaways here with the minor pentatonic scale when it comes to writing is just how dark and edgy the scale degrees and the notes within this scale can be and can lend themselves to a song of that nature, especially if it's a jam where you're trying to build up some mystery or suspense or some darkness. This is a really great scale to tap into. When it comes to the major pentatonic or even just the major scale in general, it gives vibes and it gives energy that things are bright, things are maybe a little more hopeful, things will be okay. I think a minor scale has a bit more darkness. It lacks that hopefulness a little bit. But a minor pentatonic scale, specifically to me, I get this energy and this feeling that it's like a lack of giving a crap. It's a bit of disregard. It's a bit of, I have to go my own way. I'm going to walk my own path. I'm not going to be as concerned with what someone else thinks. There's a lot of edge and there's a lot of self-confidence in this scale. There's just so much edge. There's so much badassness. Gotta love it. Really important element to learning this scale and just about any scale, but I like using it on the pentatonic scales a little bit more, is jumping from string to string and playing these notes out of order to learn it a little bit more. So I was messing around with this earlier. I'll see if I can nail it here. I was basically turning the scale into a bit of an exercise by playing the first note of the A minor pentatonic scale, so playing the root, the A, and then we're going to go down to that seventh as the next note. And then we're going to go right above that to the D, which is the third scale degree here. So we start off by going. From there, we're going to hit this fourth scale degree here, which is the E. So we'll go. So I was doing that as a little bit of a slow exercise, and then watch what happens when you speed it up. Speed it up, play it a little more straight. So as a little bonus, try that out. That's basically a way that you can take a scale and turn it into an exercise. Just pick a few notes out of order. 1, 7, 3, 4. 1, 7, 3, 4. 1, 7, 3, 4. Jumping around from string to string that way in a not predictable order is going to be great for your mind thinking about the scale and understanding it, and then making that mind to hand connection and getting your fingers more comfortable with it. So next time around you go and play things in order, it's nothing. It's cake because you've been playing, which is a little bit more difficult. That's all I have for you today. The minor pentatonic scale is probably my favorite scale. At least it was 10 years ago when I was a little bit earlier on playing. It unlocked so much for me and showed me so much of what I loved about the instrument. There's so much swag, there's so much self-confident energy in this scale, and I think that, you know, hopefully that could reflect in your playing and you can grab something from this. I hope you have a lot of fun with this one. This scale really lends itself to good, solid writing, as well as being able to create good practice routines. So what we covered at the end there, experiment, make your own sort of exercise out of this scale. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please let me know if there's other scales in particular. I have some good video ideas that you guys commented earlier in the week that I will be covering soon. But if there's any particular scale you want to see covered and learn a little bit more about, please let me know. To everyone who subscribes to the channel, especially all the new subscribers recently, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you to the longtime subscribers who've been sticking around for this past year. If you enjoy bass videos and discussions like this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think. And remember, you don't have to be the best or the fastest bass player in the world. You just have to be funky. Peace.